information just coming into the Situation Room about the terrorist attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. The September 11th attack killed 4 U.S. citizens, including the United States ambassador to Libya, Chris Stevens. CNN's intelligence correspondent Suzanne Kelly has just returned from a high-level briefing on this. Suzanne, what did you find out?
Right, well, a senior U.S. intelligence official who offered almost a minute-by-minute blow of what happened that night, the night of the attack in Benghazi, said they felt passionately about setting the record straight after Fox News reported last Friday that officials within the CIA chain of command denied repeated requests from its officers on the ground to assist during the attack on the U.S. mission and were actually ordered to stand down. Now, a senior intelligence official says there were no orders to anybody to stand down in providing support, the official insisting that the CIA operators on the ground were in charge of what they did and when they did it that night, and that the safety of those who were preparing to respond was also a very important consideration.
Well, let's talk about this timeline. Now, what are you learning about how long it took the CIA officer to actually respond to what was going on?
We do know a lot more now than we knew in the weeks after. As the official says, there was a roughly 25-minute gap between the initial call for help from the consulate, the time that came into the officers at a nearby annex, to the time when the officers were in the car on the way to assist. We're told that during that time, the officers at that annex location were getting their weapons loaded into vehicles, while others were on the phone trying to get local so-called friendly militias, if you will, Wolf, with heavier weapons to come and assist them.
There was also a suggestion, as you know, that officers on the ground were asking for military backup, but the CIA chain of command actually denied those requests.
I can't use the actual word that they told me, but I can tell you that the official offered a very passionate statement that it was simply not true. In fact, the military said the military did provide assistance according to this source. The officials saying that the U.S. military support was essential and much appreciated, that it provided overhead ISR, which is, of course, drone surveillance, tactical support sent to the scene from Tripoli, and medical evacuations.
So this is all coming out now. There's a lot of political ramifications. The official did not want to speak on the record. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. Yep, that's right. And I think you touched on it exactly. It's political. We're now 5 days before the presidential election, and this issue of what happened that night in Benghazi and how the U.S. responded, what intelligence knew, when they knew it, has become so sensitive. But there's this struggle within the intelligence community of people who really want to set the record straight for those people who made these decisions, the people who died that night, and they're struggling to find ways to do that without making it more political. Yeah. I think it's impossible.
Near impossible.
We'll continue to follow this story as well. Suzanne, thanks for that update.
Thank you.
An amazing story, I must say that.
And still unfolding, Wolf, absolutely. Turning back to Sandy.